All right, everyone. Thank you for coming to ALASC's Thrills and Chills Trivia Night. And we're doing this as a Jeopardy style. We did that last semester and it was pretty popular, so we're trying it out again. We just finished our icebreaker and we're going to go ahead and get started with the game now. For those of you who are not familiar with Jeopardy, you do answer the question or you answer the question in the form of a question. So we have a couple of example questions here so you can kind of get used to the format if you've never played Jeopardy before. So I'll go ahead and read the example question here. And before I start, the way we are going to do the buzzer system for this game is every question will have sort of a question code at the top of the screen. So for this one, it is E1. So if you wanted to buzz in to answer this question, you can type in the chat E1. So this question is this author and poet known for numerous works of Gothic horror, including The Telltale Heart and The Fall of the House of Usher. And then once I finish reading the question, you can buzz in using that code.
Elizabeth. Yeah, just like that.
Who is Edgar Allan Poe?
That is correct. Yeah, so you would answer in the form of a question like Elizabeth just did. So whatever your answer is, and then you would say like who is, if it's a person, or what is, where is, you phrase it in the form of a question. And if you haven't played Jeopardy before, you might forget to answer it like that. I will give you a second chance if you mess up. Okay, and then we have one more example question to give you another chance to get used to it. So the second one, this is E2. So if you're going to buzz in, make sure to type E2 into the chat. And this question is, this character who supposedly inhabits Sleepy Hollow looking for his missing head in an 1820 short story.
Jennifer.
Who is Ichabod Crane?
That's technically correct, I think.
It
But I
is.
was looking for his the other name that he goes by.
Oh my gosh, who is the Headless Horseman?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, cool.
Nice. All right. So hopefully everyone has gotten the hang of how the game goes from those two example questions. And we'll go on to the actual scoreboard here. So these are the questions and categories that we have tonight. Our categories are Creepy Children, King of Horror, Bloodsuckers, Ancient Evils, and Book to Scream. Connor and I will be alternating reading the questions, and then we have our awesome social media assistant, Jackie, here, who will be helping us moderate the chat. So I will actually have Jackie kick us off. Jackie, do you want to pick a category and a question for us to start?
Ooh, sure. Thanks. Let's do Creepy Children 300.
All right. All right, Creepy Children for 300. So the code for this one is C3. So when you buzz into the chat, make sure to type C3. And then Jackie, once you see the first person buzz in, you can just call on them and let them say the answer. So this question is, this children's book series about a purportedly vampiric pet rabbit.
So Elizabeth was the first one to buzz in, but it was before you actually read the question. I'm not sure what the rules are with that.
The rules are that you do have to buzz in after I finish reading the question.
So the first buzz in after you finished reading the question was, I am so sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, Hallie?
You pronounced it correctly, so you're good. What is Bunnicula?
That is correct. Yay. All right, so Hallie just earned 300 points. And then we'll go back to the main screen. And you can pick the next category.
Let's do Creepy Children for 400.
Okay. And Connor, I'll let you do this one.
All right. This main character of a children's picture book series known for his encounters with creepy carrots, underwear, and crayons. Anyone have a guess?
Elizabeth.
So I don't know if this character has a name, but what is the rabbit?
He does have a name. I guess if no one else knows it, we can go with that. Um, his name is Jasper Rabbit. So Elizabeth just earned 400 points. We're going to go back to the main screen and you can pick the next category, Elizabeth.
Let's do bloodsuckers for 500, please.
All right. Bloodsuckers for 500. And then when you buzz in for this question, make sure to enter B5 into the chat. So this question is, this 1954 novel set in post-apocalyptic California, following the possible sole survivor of a vampiric pandemic as he attempts to find a cure for the virus, adapted into a 2007 film of the same name.
Elizabeth.
What is I Am Legend?
That is correct. So Elizabeth just earned 500 points. Then you can go ahead and pick the next category.
Let's do Ancient Evils for 500.
Okay. This is Ancient Evils for 500. And you can enter A5 into the chat when you buzz into this question. And Connor, I'll let you go ahead and read this one.
So, this 1898 novella, where a young governess caring for two children becomes convinced they are being haunted by ghosts, but the ghosts may or may not be her own imagination.
Kendra.
What is the turn of the screw?
That is correct. Okay, so Kendra just earned 500 points. Let's go back to the main screen and
Which is
you can choose the
A
next category.
terrible book, by the way. I had to read in high school, and it was like the worst thing to get through ever.
Oh, I also read it for sure. And yeah,
My friend tried it,
college.
and it was Shirley Jackson said she pulled some influence from it. My friend tried to read it, and I was like, you could have asked me. I would have told you to not bother. It's terrible. Okay. Let's do King of Horror for 400.
Okay. King of Horror for 400. For this question, buzz in with the code K4 in the chat. This question is, this misspelled sign marks a burial ground for companion animals in the 1984 novel. And if you buzz in for this one, you actually have to spell it.
Elizabeth.
What is Pet Cemetery? And the sign is spelt PET for pet, and then cemetery is SEMATARY.
That's correct.
Hell yeah. Sorry.
All right, so Elizabeth just earned 400 points. Let's go back to the main screen. And sorry, I know that you all can't see which questions had been taken already, but we are marking it down. So if you're not sure which ones have been taken yet or not, just ask us and we can remind you which ones are still available. So Elizabeth, you can go ahead and pick the next category.
Let's try Book to Scream for 500.
Okay, Book to Scream for 500. And you can buzz in with F5 for this question. Connor, go ahead.
This 1973 film, based on a 1971 novel about the possessed daughter of a famous actress.
Jennifer.
What is The Exorcist?
That is correct. So Jennifer just earned 500 points. Let's go back to the main screen and Jennifer, you can pick the next question.
Okay. Let's do King of Horror for 200.
Okay, King of Horror for 200. So for this question, go ahead and buzz in with the code K2 in the chat. This question is, this form commonly taken by the evil entity in the 1986 novel of the same name.
Callie.
What is Pennywise?
That is correct. So Hal, you just earned 200 points. Go back to the main game board and you can pick the next category.
Sorry. Okay. Let me see. Let's do Book to Scream 300.
Okay, Book to Scream 300. So for this question, go ahead and buzz in with F3 in the chat. Connor?
This herb named protagonist of a 1967 novel and 1968 film adaptation who bears a demonic child.
Callie.
Who is Rosemary?
That is correct. So Hallie just earned 300 points. Oops. I meant to go back. Okay, there's the game board, and you can pick the next category.
Let's do Bloodsuckers for 400.
Okay. There's 400. So for this question, go ahead and buzz in with the code B4 in the chat. This question is, this 2004 novel originally written in Swedish and adapted into both Swedish and English language films about a human boy and his relationship with a child vampire.
Elizabeth.
What is Let the Right One In?
That is correct. All right, Elizabeth just earned 400 points. Back to the main board, and you can pick the next category.
Let's do Creepy Children for 500, please.
Okay, Creepy Children for 500, and go ahead to buzz in for this question with the code C5.
This series composed of children's horror short story anthologies, which you may or may have not read in the dark.
Callie.
What is Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark?
That's correct. Okay, Hallie just earned 500 points. And you can pick the next category.
Okay, have we done Ancient Evils for 400 yet?
No.
Let's see.
Let's do that one.
All right, Ancient Evils for 400. This question, buzz in with the code A4. And the question is, this wallpaper color in an 1892 novella where a woman prescribed rest cure gradually descends into insanity.
Callie.
What is yellow?
That is correct. It's from the yellow wallpaper. Hallie just earned 400 points. And we'll go back to the main board and you can pick the next question.
How about Book to Scream for 200?
All right, Book to Scream for 200. And you can buzz into this one with the code F2.
This psychiatrist and cannibalistic serial killer from a 1988 novel adapted into a 1991 film.
Apologies if I pronounce your name incorrectly. Sorry.
Ah, Sari. Cool, thanks. Who is Hannibal Lecter?
That is correct. All right, so Sari just earned 200 points. And you can go ahead and pick the next category.
It's Sari. Just like Mary.
Oh,
but with
Sari.
an- Yeah,
Sorry.
you got it. Ancient Evils, have we done 300?
No.
Let's
Okay,
see.
yeah.
No. Okay, Ancient Evils for 300. And for this question, you can buzz in with the code A3.
This character, who haunts the Paris Opera House and becomes infatuated with the soprano female protagonist in the 1910 novel, now perhaps more well known as a musical.
Callie.
Who is the Phantom?
That's correct. Ironically, we were just talking about this.
Yeah.
All right. And then you can pick the next category.
How about King of Horror for 400?
That has been taken, but you could do
We did that.
100, 300, or 500.
Oh, okay. Let's do 500.
Okay, King of Horror for 500. You can buzz into this one with the code K5. And our question is, this normally gentle breed of dog kills 4 people after contracting rabies in the 1981 novel set in Castle Rock, Maine.
Annette.
Who is Cujo?
That is correct. So Annette just earned 500 points, and you can pick the next question.
Creepy children for 500.
We have 100 and 200 still available for that category.
For 200.
Okay, so Creepy Children for 200. You can buzz into this one with the code C2.
This antagonist impersonates the titular character's real parent and wants to sew buttons in her eyes to keep her trapped in an alternate dimension.
Hallie.
Who is the other mother?
That's correct. All right, that's from Coraline, and Hallie just earned 200 points. You can go ahead and pick the next category.
Okay. Did we just do, I know it was Creepy Children, but did we say 100?
Yeah, that's the last one left in that category.
Okay, let's
So
do that one.
Creepy Children for 100, and you can buzz in with the code C1 for this one. The question is, this author known for writing the Goosebumps series?
Sari.
Who is R.L. Stein?
That is correct. Okay, so Sari just earned 100 points. And you can pick the next category. And the Creepy Children is all done.
What's left in Ancient Evils?
We've got 100 and 200.
200, please.
Okay. Ancient Evils for 200. You can buzz into this one with the code A2.
This man and his murderous alter ego from an 1886 novella, also a phrase used to describe seemingly good people with an evil inner nature.
Hallie.
Who are Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde?
That is correct. You just earned 200 points, and you can pick the next category.
What do
In
we have?
Ancient Evils, oh, no, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
In Ancient Evils, we only have the 100 question left, if you're still interested in that category.
What about Book to Scream?
In Book to Scream, we have 100 and 400.
Let's go for 400.
Okay. This is Book to Scream for 400, and you can buzz into this one with the code F4. This slang expression describes the alien doppelgangers from a 1954 novel with several prolific film adaptations.
Sari.
Is Body Snatchers?
Close.
Damn, no, it's
That's
not.
like
Yeah.
the actual name of them in the title of the film adaptation, but there's also a slang term that's used to describe them.
Oh, can I still guess?
Did anyone else buzz in, Jackie?
This second buzz-in was Kendra.
Okay, let's give it to Kendra.
Now that you're saying this, I don't think this is right because I was going to guess xenomorphs from Alien, so I'm pretty sure that's wrong.
Yeah, that's not the right answer.
Okay.
Those were the only two buzz-ins.
Okay, so we can go back to, sorry, who was the first person again?
Sari.
Okay, Sari, did you have a second guess?
Pod people. Oh, what are pod people? Wild guess.
That's correct.
What? Okay. Awesome.
Okay, so Sari just earned 400 points. And you can pick the next category. In Book to Scream, we have the 100 question left. We also have the 100 question in Ancient Evils. In Bloodsuckers, the first 3 categories are still open. In King of Horror, we have the 100 and the 300 question open.
All right, so I'd like Bloodsuckers for 300, please.
Okay. This is Bloodsuckers for 300, and buzz into the chat with the code B3.
This 1975 Stephen King novella about a small town in Maine that is being taken over by vampires.
Elizabeth.
What is Salem's Lot?
That is correct. Okay, so Elizabeth just earned 300 points, and you can pick the next category.
What did you say we had left in Bloodsuckers?
We now have the 100 and 200 question left.
Let's do the 200 for Bloodsuckers, please.
Okay. So this is Bloodsuckers 200. Buzz into the chat with the code B2. The question is, this author, whose 1976 debut novel stars 2 French vampires and is the first of many in the series The Vampire Chronicles.
Allie.
Who is Anne Rice?
That is correct. So Hallie just earned 200 points. We'll go back to the game board, and in Bloodsuckers, we have the 100 question left. And we have 100 left for Ancient Evils and Book to Scream as well. And then in King of Horror, we still have 100 and 300.
Okay, let's do King of Horror for 100.
Okay. This is King of Horror for 100. Buzz into this one with K1 if you know the answer.
This animal's blood is dumped on the titular character of the 1974 novel, causing her to destroy prom and her town as a result.
Allie.
Is it pig's blood? What is pig's blood?
That's correct. Or it was actually just the animal, but yeah, that's still correct. Okay, so you just earned 100 points, and let's go back to the game board. So we still have 300 for King of Horror, and we have 100 for every other category that's not King of Horror and Creepy Children.
Okay, let's do Book to Scream for 100.
Okay. This is Book to Scream 100. Buzz in with the code F1 if you know it. The question is, this location where a woman is killed by a psychotic motel owner, famously depicted in a 1960 Hitchcock film adapted from a 1959 novel of the same name.
Elizabeth.
What is the Stanley Hotel?
That is incorrect. Jackie, who's our next?
I think it was
we
Jennifer.
did. Oh, okay.
What is the Bates Motel?
That's technically correct, but I was looking for a more specific location within the hotel, if that makes sense.
What is the shower?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so Jennifer just earned 100 points. Back to the game board. We still have Ancient Evils for 100, Bloodsuckers for 100, and King of Horror for 300.
Let's do King of Horror for 300.
Okay. This is King of Horror for 300. Buzz in with the code K3 if you know it.
This setting for the 1977 novel where a struggling writer and recovering alcoholic father inflicts violence upon his family.
Annette.
I think your audio's off, Annette.
Sorry. Where is the Overlook Hotel?
That is correct. Yay. Okay, so Annette just earned 300 points. And back to the game board. So the last two questions we have available are Bloodsuckers for 100 or Ancient Evils for 100. Which one would you prefer?
Ancient Evils for 100.
Okay. This is Ancient Evils for 100. Buzz in with A1 if you know the answer. This mad scientist who creates a monster in Mary Shelley's 1818 novel.
Elizabeth.
Who is Victor Frankenstein?
That's correct. Okay, Elizabeth just earned 100 points. And our very last question will be Bloodsuckers for 100. So buzz in with the code B1 if you know this answer.
This character, now known as an archetypal vampire hunter, who leads the hunt against Dracula in Bram Stoker's 1897 novel.
Elizabeth.
Who is Van Helsing?
That is correct. All right, so Elizabeth earned our last 100 points. Jackie, I'll give you a couple seconds if you need it, but do we have a total of our top three right now?
We do.
Is there a tie?
What was that?
Is there a tie? Just curious.
No, there's not.
Okay. So we can just play the, there's one more question that's like a tiebreaker. We could just do that one for fun, and then we'll announce who the top three are, who our winners are. All right? So our final question, this one was supposed to be a tiebreaker if we needed it, but we don't. So it'll just be for fun. And you can buzz in with TB if you know the answer. This word repeatedly uttered by the talking bird in an 1845 Poe poem.
Elizabeth.
What is Nevermore?
That's correct. All right. Thank you everyone for coming and playing our Jeopardy game tonight. So without further ado, Jackie, who are our top three?
Our top three are Hallie, Elizabeth, and Annette.
Yay, congrats to all three of you, and thank you everyone for coming and playing with us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It was really
so I'll be
fun.
thank you. I'll be contacting the winners via email to let you know about like the gift card prize that you'll receive afterwards. And then the final event that ALASC is having for the semester will be Around the World Library Tour, which will be later next month in like late November. So if you're interested in that, keep an eye out for that as well. We will be looking at different libraries around the globe, and we'll have a guest speaker, Loida Garcia Febo, who is an international librarian. So she'll be talking about her work as an international librarian and kind of discussing what it's like to do that work. Thank you all for coming out tonight.
Thank you, everyone.
I know. Thank you, Kat.
Thanks for coming. Good night,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Good
Good
night.
night. Thanks again.